The NFC North just wrapped up one of the most intriguing drafts in recent memory. And while some teams swung for the fences, others played it safe. Maybe too safe. Today, we're breaking down all 4 NFC North draft classes, what we liked, what we didn't, and why these grades matter for the 2025 season and beyond. Whether you're riding high after a blockbuster pick, or scratching your head at a strange day 3 flyer, we've got you covered. We're going team by team. No fluff, just real analysis. So if you're a Lions fan wondering if Brad Holmes aced it, a Bears fan ready to crown Loveland the next Kelsey, or just here for the NFC North chaos, stick around. And hey, make sure to drop your draft grade in the comments. Agree with mine? Think I missed the mark? Let's talk about it. Alright, let's kick things off with the Minnesota Vikings. But before we fully get into it, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out and ensures you don't miss any of my upcoming NFL division draft grades. I've already covered 2 divisions and there's plenty more on the way. The Minnesota Vikings walk away from the 2025 draft with a C in my book, and while that's not a failing grade, it's definitely underwhelming. To be fair, they were working with only 5 picks, the smallest class in franchise history, so expectations were already tempered going in. But even within those limited picks, it felt like Minnesota left a lot on the table. The one move I loved was taking Donovan Jackson in the first round. That was a great pick. He's a high-floor, plug-and-play interior lineman with elite college production and a ton of experience at Ohio State. He's physical, smart, and fits perfectly into what they're trying to build on the offensive line. After that, things start to lose steam. Ty Felton in the third was decent. He's coming off a big final season at Maryland, and he gives them speed and some playmaking ability as a depth receiver. But it's hard to get too excited about a guy who projects as a wide receiver 3 or 4 at best in the short term. Then the day 3 picks just didn't move the needle. Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins is a traits-based pick, but he never fully broke out at Georgia. Kobe King and Gavin Bartholomew are solid depth guys, but neither has a clear path to impact anytime soon. They had toughness, sure, but there's not a lot of upside there. What really drags the grade down is the lack of help in the secondary. That was a glaring need going in, and they completely passed on addressing it. It's one thing to have a small class, but it's another to leave big holes on your roster untouched. Overall, the Vikings made a safe first pick and then followed it up with 4 swings that felt more like check-the-box moves than real difference makers. Now, from a draft class that left a bit to be desired, let's shift to a team that made smarter moves up top. The Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears earn a solid B for their draft performance this year. It isn't a spectacular haul, but it's far from a bust. Their first-round selection of tight end Colston Loveland at number 10 raised a few eyebrows. Some even labeled it as a reach. However, reports from NFL GMs suggest otherwise. Loveland was highly regarded in draft circles, and his skill set aligns perfectly with Ben Johnson's offense, reflecting a valued decision instead of an overstep. He brings a unique athletic profile. He can split out as a receiver, both block in line and on the move. Some view him as a bigger, more physically polished Sam Laporta, which fits Johnson's system beautifully. In the second round, the Bears added wide receiver Luther Burden III. That's a sensible value pick. He's a dynamic prospect with upside. But the Bears' wide receiver room is already deep with DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, and newcomer Burden. The only concern is saturation. Burden won't have a clear pathway to major snaps early, though his talent merits praise. Rest of draft analysis, Day 3 brought some useful depth and developmental pieces. Not bad, not great. Selections like Luke Newman on the offensive line and others add positional support, but don't move the needle immediately. There's no glaring reach or glaring miss, keeping the grade from dipping lower. The line looks more on less, and the defense got marginal upgrades. Overall, a B feels right. The Bears nailed their top need with Loveland, and Burden offers upside without costing a premium. The back-end picks won't light the league on fire, but build depth. Not an elite class, but it addresses key areas, sets up short-term potential, and avoids major mistakes. A steady, respectable performance. After a steady, respectable draft from the Bears, we moved to a franchise that took a much bigger swing with its picks, the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers walk away with an A- for their 2025 draft class. It wasn't perfect, Day 2 and Day 3 picks were solid, but not spectacular. But their ability to hit upside, fill key roster spots, and control draft value makes this haul feel elite. It all begins with Matthew Golden at number 23. Green Bay finally ended their 23-year drought of first-round wide receivers, landing a legitimate deep threat with sub 4.3 speed. He stretches the field, provides explosive plays, and gives Jordan Love a weapon that simply didn't exist before. That's an A-level first-round hit on its own. Then, Anthony Belton in round 2. Some viewed it as a reach, but the Packers clearly prioritized beefing up the trenches. Belton's power running and strong pass blocking grade make him more than just a massive body. He's a foundational piece for an offensive line in transition. It's not sexy, but it's smart. In round 3, they double-dipped at receiver with Savion Williams, a Swiss Army knife type who brings yak juice and return skills. On paper, he's raw, but the versatility of Matt LaFleur's offense makes him a potential weapon in multiple roles. That kind of gadget player upside for Day 3 capitalizes on value. The later picks, edge pieces Baron Sorrell and Colin Oliver, interior lineman Warren Brinson, corner Mika Robinson, and versatile lineman John Williams, don't pop immediately, but they provide depth, rotational options, and scheme fits. No glaring busts, just targeted flyers. Yes, the front 7 still requires grown-ups and defensive impact is largely deferred. But the offense got turbocharged, the O-line got reinforced, and special teams depth was methodically addressed. Taken together, this is a class that blends immediate help and future upside while keeping value intact. That's why the Packers deserve an A-. A highly thoughtful, high-ceiling draft that plays the long game without sacrificing present-day upgrades. And wrapping up this division, we head to Detroit, where the Lions delivered a tough, trench-heavy class that nearly hit A-level status. The Detroit Lions land a B+ on their 2025 draft class. Not an A, but solid work with room to grow. Their biggest splash, of course, was Tate Ratledge in round 2. That pick is almost flawless. Ratledge brings the perfect blend of mauling power, athleticism, and pick-and-stick nastiness that fits Detroit's trench identity. At nearly 6'7", he plays with a dirtbag mentality, punishing and persistent. And most analysts agree he's a plug-and-play starter at guard. That's an A pick, no question. The first-round selection of Tyleik Williams comes with mixed reviews. He's a massive run stuffer with elite interior quickness. Detroit needed interior beef and earns a solid B. Some say they'd preferred more edge pass rush help, but Williams' versatility gives the front line flexibility, making it a smart, if unspectacular, choice. Round 3's Isaac Tesla is the wild card. Athletic and tall, he could evolve into a vertical threat. But after the Lions paid a premium to move up, his rough edges earned a C+. A posture-defining gamble more than a sure hit. Later picks like Miles Frazier add valuable swing line depth. Ahmed Hassanin injects pass rush upside. Dan Jackson offers special teams insight. And Dominic Lovett brings speed in the slot. None scream star power, but none feel like disasters. They fulfill roster needs and add developmental upside. Finance-wise, Detroit played it safe, investing heavily in the trenches, ensuring early lineup impact, and taking upside shots later. The offense got more protection, the run game got tougher, and special teams got boosts. Defensively, the focus was inside rather than edge. That mix of high-floor starters and mid-round upside earns the class a B+. Strong, strategic, but not home run territory. And that's the full rundown on the NFC North's 2025 draft classes. And as always, this division never disappoints when it comes to surprises, hits, and a few head scratchers. Some teams nailed their needs, others left glaring holes untouched. But as always, time will tell who really won this draft. Now it's your turn. Who had the best draft in the NFC North? Was Green Bay's big swing the right move? Did Chicago do enough to help Caleb Williams? Are the Vikings playing it too safe? Let me know your rankings in the comments. If you got something out of this breakdown, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe for more weekly NFL content, and share this with a fan who's probably yelling at the screen right now. We've got more deep dives, predictions, and roster grades coming your way, so stay locked in. Until next time, this is your NFC North update. See you in the comments.